Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, not good for now. It is the new generation. I renamed my channel to be the new regeneration. Okay, now I will talk about, we have a new course, inshallah. It will be full course, it will be full. We'll take the full stack web development course. Okay, and now if you ask me about the Python videos, these were only Python basics. I was giving you the Python basics. For example, I gave you the try and accept, gave you the variables, I gave you the print. Those were Python basics. Or maybe I can complete them and make them a full course. Okay, so now let me just give you the syllables of the course that we're gonna have. Okay, so here is the course. Okay, so here we have the course. Okay, here's the course. Okay, so here we have three things in this course. Three things. First thing we're gonna start with is we're gonna start with the introduction of C and introduction of HTML. Then we'll take the HTML. Okay, now the second part we'll take the CSS. We'll take the CSS and the introduction. Means first we'll start with the introduction and then we will take the CSS. Now after we did all of these, okay, these were for designing. The HTML and CSS were for what? For designing the website. Okay, so now we have the last thing is the making it interactive. Here, make it interactive. How we can make it interactive? So here we'll draw like this. Okay, so here we have two things also. As always, we'll take an introduction of Python. Okay, we'll take Python, how to use Python, not all the Python, how to use the Python in web development. And okay, so he will get introduction, and here we will take how to use it full. Okay, so this was this was just an review for the syllables that we'll take, and see you in the next video and the new course. Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of the course. In this video we'll make an introduction. There will be a lot of some video, for example about 30 videos for introduction of HTML. Okay, so and the next will be about 20 video for the HTML itself. Okay, so now let's start with our lesson. Okay, so first I'll tell you what to do. I will answer you some questions. For example, what do you know? What is HTML? HTML is a language that you can design a website with it. Okay, if you, for example, open Wikipedia, let's for example open Google, and for example search for Apple. Okay, for example let's open Wikipedia about Apple. Okay, so here you find a lot of links. For example here, this link, for example, this is a link. Yeah, you see it's a link. This for the coder, it's named by hypertext, text that it's hyper linked to something. For example, link to a picture, link to any file or anything, maybe linked to a video. For example, maybe they store the video on their servers, and okay, still don't know servers. What is servers? Servers are large computers that receive a lot of requests a day, so it can answer that request that comes from the user when they open Google. For example, if I now open Google, now there is a request sent to Google that I want to open this web page. For example, if I open Twitter, let's say Twitter. Okay, now a request is sent to Twitter that I want to open. Okay, so okay, and what is HTML? HTML, I will talk more about HTML now. HTML, as we said, that it is a web designing language. Okay, HTML the website is more than one HTML file. Okay, and these files are that has elements that, for example, to view a text, to view pictures, to view videos. Okay, and sometimes these are linked to resources. And for example, if you open a website, for example, and you have a chat button, they use a service. For example, we have a lot of service. For example, let's search for chat service for websites. For example, here we have intercom. It's so famous one. Okay, here is intercom. How they put the chat of intercom in their website, like here. See, they put the intercom chat. How did they do that? They make an account. Just intercom gives them an embed, so here it's linked to intercom so they can chat, for example. Now it's linked on their web page. For example, I can get help or support. Okay, so this is the first video of introduction of HTML, and I see you in the next episode. Hello and welcome to the new video of the course of full stack web development, in the third video, and we are still in the introduction of HTML. Okay, here in this lesson we'll talk about web and servers. Okay, web and servers. While you are browsing, for example, let's say that you are browsing Wikipedia. Okay, let's open Wikipedia. Wiki. Let's say that you are browsing here Wikipedia. Okay, let's say that you are browsing it. For example, you are reading articles. Okay, you are reading some information. Okay, in this while you are connected to the server of Wikipedia. Okay, but do you know how your computer connects and contacts with the web server of Wikipedia? I will tell you. With HTTP or HTTPS. When you open a website, for example, let's say that you are opening YouTube. Here, if you just check the full URL, here we have HTTPS. Means that the website your computer will talk to the server using HTTPS. Okay, and some see that this says that the website is secure. Yeah, that's correct. And also it tells the computer or your device how to contact with the server in HTTPS or HTTP. For example, let's search for HTTP websites. Example. Okay, I don't know, for example. Okay, so here we have, if we just go to here, example, just a minute, www.example.com. Okay, so this website is secure. I don't know, but I cannot. Okay, so here, check here. Here we have HTTP, means the computer or your device will talk in HTTP, not HTTPS, and this means it's not secure, not encrypted. Okay, means there is no certificate for the secure. Okay, so HTTP and HTTPS, in summarizing, are just a way that tells your device how to contact to the server. Okay, and now I'm opening Google. Let me ask you a question. Is my computer now connected to the server of Google? Yeah, because you are using Google. You are browsing Google. That's all, and goodbye. And wait for me in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new lesson. We are still in the introduction of HTML. In this lesson we will talk about the text and editors, how we're gonna run our HTML code and see and test it. Okay, so we need programs. There's a lot of programs like the I will show you how the process, how to install them. Okay, so here first thing one that's named by Atom, I don't know, yeah, this one, atom.io, this one, but I don't want to install it. This one is Atom. You can download it, and you can use it for HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and Node.js. Node.js. It does work with Python or no. Okay, so here you can use HTML and CSS here. Okay, now there is another program called PyCharm. Yeah, this one. This for maybe everything, but it sometimes might slow your computer. Okay, so I have a better program from all of these, and also same as PyCharm. It's Visual Studio Code. This is the program. Okay, it is freeware source code editor made by Microsoft for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Features include support, debugging, syntax highlighting, intelligent code completion, snippets, and code refactoring embedded Git. Okay, so here you can use HTML, you can use JavaScript, you can use Python, you can use everything. Okay, so how you install it? I will install it. It will be so light on your device. Okay, so first thing, open code.visualstudio.com or search for on Google Visual Studio Code. Open, and here you'll find this page in front of you. Okay, you'll find this page. Click on this button and choose here other downloads. Okay, so here we got it. Okay, so here you can choose. You use the user installer for Windows. Okay, so if you have 64-bit, I have 32, or you can use for Linux, or you can use for Mac. I'm using 64, so it doesn't matter if I install 32 or 64. Okay, so now it's installing the file or the program. Okay, so I'll open the downloads. Okay, so here we got it downloaded. So we're gonna open our file explorer, and I can check the download and open the program. Okay, we'll wait. Okay, so here first thing, I accept the agreement. You can read the agreement as you want. Click next. Now also click next, and here you can browse where you want to save or set up your Visual Studio Code. Here you can name it by any other name, but I want to keep it like this. And here you don't create a start menu. I want to create a start menu, so keep it highlighted. Now I'll tell you what to choose. Okay, first thing, create a desktop icon and choose add open with code, the first two, and registered code, so it will be the default one for opening supported files like HTML and Python. Okay, add to path, that keep it highlight because it will be so helpful and it will save a lot of time. Okay, in adding the path. Click next. Click install. Wait for the installation. Okay, click finish. Let's close the browser. Okay, so here for example this was a file that I did. This was a snake. Let me show it to you. This is a snake. I did it, but doesn't matter now. Okay, so now let's close all of this. And okay, so here first thing, go to here extensions and here search for Python, because Python will use it for after in our in our course. Okay, so here install, but if you didn't install it, example I will install, but there is a problem. Okay, so you must install it and reload, and you will find it. Okay, so when you make an Python file, example, sorry, I will just here, and I must make a location. For example, let me open folder and desktop, doesn't matter. Okay, so now here I will just a minute, here on the desktop I want to do that file. So here let's say test.py. okay, so let's try using print, and for example let's print hi. Okay, run the code to check if it's working. You can right click and run Python in terminal. Here, run Python file in terminal. Hi, that's great. Okay, so now if you don't want to install any program, how you can do this and test? Okay, so how you can test your HTML code first. For example, let's make an HTML code. Create one and say test.html. okay, and here let's write anything. Let's write welcome to HTML. okay, how you can test it? You can, if you want a live server on your local computer, just search for live server, as I remember, live server. Okay, so you install it and refresh. Okay, and here open the go live, click go live here down, it will open automatically, and welcome to HTML. Or you can also open File Explorer, go to desktop, and where is the test? Open it. It will open your browser, but it won't be a live server, just viewing. But sometimes if you make chat or some like this default, it might not work properly. Okay, now if you don't want to install any program, I'll tell you how. For example, let me make first thing, make a text document and write anything like HTML test. Okay, I name it like this. For example, open it. For example, write your code. So hi, this notepad and HTML, for example. Okay, so click on file, click on save as. Okay, so here you could quotation mark and write the name. For example, test HTML easy. For example, let's make it like this, and now dot HTML, and then what again, quotation. Now save it, check the file where you saved it. So here, yeah, here I saved it. Okay, now you want to edit, click open with, right click open with, choose another app and choose notepad. Okay, so for example I want to make hello. Okay, so save it, open it again. I get it. Okay, but it's better to use the program. Okay, and now the CSS, you can download this for some help. Okay, but you don't need actually. Okay, you don't need. When we will use CSS, okay, when we use CSS, you can here make CSS.css. Okay, so for example you can write anything, but it's not like HTML, any writing it will appear. Okay, so that's all for our video, because I don't want to make it long, and see you next time. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in our full stack web development course. In this episode, we will talk about the job of HTML and the meaning of HTML. Okay, let's start with the meaning of HTML. HTML is a markup language, hyper markup language. Also, if you open Google, search for HTML, you'll get an here. I will zoom it with you. Okay, here it says hypertext markup language is the standard markup language for documents designed to be displayed in a web browser. It can be assisted by technologies such as cascading style sheets and scripting languages such as JavaScript. Scripting means you need to make a website script, make it interactive. You can use Java or Python, but in this course we'll take Python. Okay, now what is the job of HTML? The website, like for example, let's say Facebook. Okay, Facebook is a website, and how it's made for HTML, and these are documents. Okay, and okay, for example, let's say that we opened our Visual Studio or the program that we have. Let's open, for example, Visual Studio. Okay, just a minute. Folder. New folder. Python. Okay, let's say that we created for example plain text. Let's make a file for HTML. Okay, and here let's say that we wrote hello world. Okay, now you tested it. For example, I can make it go live. Oh, where is the go live? Here it is. Live server. It's here. I don't know, but I can open it with my browser immediately without the live server. So I can go to the desktop and go to Python and open. Okay, now here, let's check it. Yeah, it's as we wrote it. Yeah, it's as we wrote it exactly. But you will find it's same. But the font is normally as we wrote it, normal font. How we make it, like for example, if you open, for example, Wikipedia. Let's for example open Wikipedia. Okay, so here for example the Wikipedia, for example, make this text bold. So here as you see here, it makes it bold. Here for example they made it italic. How did they do that? With CSS, and sometimes they can do it with HTML hypermark. That's why we said that the HTML is hypertext markup language. Okay, now what's the job of HTML? The job of HTML views text and how to play with this text. For example, the font, the size, using the hypertext markup, using the markup. Okay, in the markup, what it can do? It can link to other resources. For example, if we open, for example, a website. For example, if you open a website, for example, okay, for example, I embedded one of my videos into my, for example, this website. Okay, how did I do this? Now this my web page is linked. Yeah or no? Yeah, it's linked. Okay, how exactly? Because I embedded, it's linked now to YouTube, because this video is viewed on YouTube. It's embedded, so now it's linked. Okay, now we talked the job of HTML, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in the full stack web development course. Okay, today we'll talk about the markup. As you know that if you write any plain text, it will write as we usually know, as standard text. Yeah or no? Yeah. For example, if we have this text, let's say, hi there, let's go live and start the live server. Yeah, I'll zoom in. Hi there. Okay, that's great. Okay, let's say that you want to, there's something named by markup in HTML, means HTML just can do and standard text. It can make it strong, I mean by bold. It can be emphasis. Let's say how. For example, let's make a short paragraph. Let's write hello. Okay, and we want word to be bolded. How we do it? We'll make an element, and in the middle of this element we'll write the text that we need to make it bold or strong. I'll tell you how. Start with like this and write strong, and then the end like this. Automatically in Visual Studio Code it will be like this, and we will repeat the same thing, but before we write strong we'll put a slash, and here in the middle, for example, let's say world. So world, it will be bolded. So let's refresh our page and check. Yeah, here we got it. Hello world. Also let's check the page scores here. Hello, here strong and strong. Here slash. So the slash means we ended the element. So here world, we want it to be bold, I mean. Okay, let's say that we have another word, we want to make it let's say another paragraph, for example, hi, for example, how are you? Okay, so for example, let's make how, it should be bold, so we use strong. Okay, so here how, for example, let's say how we want it, okay, bold, and are you, we want it to be italic. How we do this? We'll use em, and em stands for emphasis, so that's why they named the programmers named it by em, emphasis, better than the writing the full name. Okay, now let's refresh the page. Here, hi, we didn't do anything for it. How? Okay, we make it bold. Are you? Okay. Also, you can search for internet for more ways. Example, how to mark up in HTML. You can also search example, how to change, for example, change font color in HTML. How you do this? There's a way also. We'll use an attribute named, okay, use this style attribute. You can open this article. Here we can make p style. Okay, here is, for example, an example how he did it. P style, but this will take it after. Okay, so here let's try a live demo for how to do it. Okay, so here that's just here is our what we want. Okay, so this will take it after. This is an ID for this word, okay, and we use this ID to make it like this. Example, h1 not ID, it is, for example, heading. Like heading, if you open, for example, Word here, if you open a blank document, example, you have heading 1, heading 2. Here h1, h for heading 1 means heading 1. Okay, because, for example, if we preview, yeah, here h1, it will be h1. Okay, and here we can make a P style color blue. Okay, so here this is what we need. We'll use the element, here we will use the style attribute P. Okay, so here for example, okay, so let's change this text. Let's make it, for example, the next generation. Okay, let's make it, for example, you can also use and to make a certain color exactly. Example, I want cyan. Okay, I will refresh my page. Yeah, here I got it in cyan color. That's great. Okay, let's take the last thing, that how to change font style in HTML. This is so nice thing. We'll use the style attribute. Strong and emphasis are attributes, not these are style attribute. Okay, so how we do the change? Okay, so I'll open a live demo. Okay, so this will make a use P and style. Okay, so here we have the Google font style. Where you can get it? You can get it from Google Fonts. Search for Google Fonts. Okay, and you can browse and put a font. Okay, and you can use font family also, because in font family you can do style, you can do this, and this will run it for after. Okay, so yeah, here for example the font family Georgia, or we can also browse some fonts. For example, let's make it change sometimes they change. Yeah, here it's like the same. Okay, let's for example use sans serif preview. Okay, now we will end our episode here and see you next time. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video or episode in my course. Today we'll talk about breakout and empty elements. If you, for example, make a simple HTML file and you wrote some, for example, let's say, hi Danny. Okay, let's say for example, how are you? Okay, now we'll enter and say for example, when we will meet at the park. Okay, now we separated them. Yeah, we make enter. So as we know that we need to, hi Danny, how are you, will be in one line, and when we will meet at the park will be on one line. But that's false. I'll tell you now. See, HTML put them in one line. Why? Because there is something named by breakout or empty. What is this? How we do it? We'll put a bracket and write PR. Okay, and close the bracket. So BR stands for breakout, so it will be a space or enter next line. If we here we do it, yeah, because if HTML, if you have enter without putting BR, it will put all of them into like one paragraph, but like not to separate them. Even if you, let's delete this BR breakout, and for example let's put one more space, a space between them. I mean enter, here a line, empty line. Let's try and refresh. Even thought, because if it isn't even empty or not empty, it will be as one. Means if, let's say that this text, okay, for example here text in number 1, and here text in number 2, here text in number 3, and here text in number 4. If you run, what will happen? You will get it as one paragraph. As one paragraph. All together is one. Okay, how we solve this problem? We use breakout. Button bracket, write B and R and then close the bracket. After each line, this will make an empty, it will make an enter. For example, means we put here a BR. Okay, so hi Danny, how are you will be in one line, and when we will meet at the park will be in one line. Okay, let's add another line. Okay, and don't forget to put the BR. Let's, for example, where are you now? Okay, so here let's make the PR. I'll copy it for saving some time. Put it again. Okay, so hi Daniel, how are you? One line. When we'll meet at the park, one line. Where are you now? One line. Let's refresh our page. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Also, that it's not BR. There's also another thing. I will tell it to you now. There is another thing called it's P. But what it does P, that it keeps an empty line. Means a line will be empty. For example, let's move this. What it does. The BR makes only one text in itself, and the next line will be text for itself. Okay, if we want to make between each one empty line, and each one it's in its own line, how we do? We will do P. No need to write enter, just do P, refresh. So hi Danny, how are you? Would be and here empty line. Okay, and when we will meet at the park, and then empty line, and then where are you now? And this is the end, so no empty line left. So that's all for today, and see you in the next episode. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode from my course. In this episode, we will talk about a lot of elements, means a lot of more things to format the text. Okay, so let's start and open Visual Studio Code or your program, or open Notepad, as you want. As we said in episode number 4. Okay, for example, let's make some text. Okay, I'll write some text and I'll post this video for some time. Okay, let's say that we have this text. Okay, if we just run it on the browser, it's like a normal text. Big deal. Okay, now let's make some format. Okay, let's make an emphasis for story, for example. EM brackets, we'll open a bracket and say EM, and story, we'll move it down here. Okay, now let's, for example, make my life. Okay, and let's say Mark, and okay, do you see that Mark is someone? No, it's not someone. Let's check. And now what is it? Open your browser, refresh your page. Yeah, now do you know Mark? Here it means like to highlight a certain type of text. Okay, let's also take two things more. Okay, let's say there's something sub. Okay, it is with B, not P. It is with B. Okay, try it in your program and try. And also I want to, for example, upside down to be the SUP. SUP, and you try. I will not show you till you try yourself. Okay, because I want you to depend on yourself sometime. Okay, so now I will show you. Yeah, do you know what it does? Here sub, okay, it was about how sub, it moves the text a little bit down. Okay, now we know. So SUP, it will go up like Superman will gonna fly, and sub will go down because it doesn't have any power. Okay, so here SUP, what it does is like Superman, it goes up, and SUB goes down. And I'll tell you what are these names. Okay, here the sub element represent a subscript. Here it's subscript, and sub superscript. Subscript, superscript. And that's all for today, and see you in the next episode. Hello everybody. Welcome to a new video episode in my course. Today we'll talk about nested elements. Okay, let's for example. Okay, do you know, for example, you have a doll, nested doll. Okay, like this. Nested tiger dolls, for example. Let's say tiger doll. Okay, let's say like this one. Okay, so here what you're gonna do, so you put one inside one. And also let's for example make another example. Let's draw. Okay, so here we have, this is the biggest one, this is the first one, big from the biggest to the smallest, and this is the second, this third, this upper, this fourth. Okay, so let's say we put the yellow inside the red, then the blue then inside the yellow, and it's inside the red. Then we put the green inside the blue, and inside the yellow, and inside the red. Okay, let's say that we put the green here, so let's bring it here, and now here we need to put it, yeah, but it will not work. In real, it will not work. Why? Because this is bigger. How a small can handle a big? That's not even. Let's return to our image here. If we put, for example, we put a big thing inside small, we cannot. Okay, this is the same as HTML, but sometimes not exactly. Okay, so let's open our Visual Studio Code. After we open it, so here, for example, let's say that, let's start a paragraph using P. Okay, and here let's say these are, let's make it italic. For example, I want important, so I want important to be, for example, bold, so I write a strong. These are important. Okay, equation. Okay, so I want equations to be, for example, mark. Oops, sorry. Mark. So select it. Ctrl X. Okay. Now let's important equations. For example, let's say I want to make this italic, for example, so I will say em. Okay, m2 equal 3, for example. So I want 3 to be italic. For example, let's make it up, to be up. So we use superscript. So here I'll open a superscript, sup, and close it, and right inside it, for example, 4. Okay, so now I need to close the P, so I will open a bracket /P and close automatically. Now I'll go live. So as I did it, okay, what I did, so for example, I put inside P, I put inside it strong, and I put inside P mark, and I put inside em. Okay, now let's say that strong in P, strong inside of it, let's make mark, means mark, strong, important, it will be strong and mark. So how I'll do this? Also I'll make here mark. So I'll just cut it, and for example I need to make two formats, the strong and the mark. Let's refresh our page. Yeah, we found it, bolded, strong and highlighted. So okay, let's say that here we also put the mark. Let's say that here, let's cut this, and here let's say that the mark will be, I want the strong and the mark will be important, but I'll not close the mark here. I'll close it at equations because I want only what equations to be marked. But I close the strong at important because I don't want it to make it bold. So I will just a minute. Here we cannot, it will not work. Why? Because there is a rule in nesting the elements in HTML, because we cannot put mark outside of strong because it's inside of it. Okay, if we need to make equations, we can Control and X, okay, and here important equations. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you start with closing strong or with closing mark, it doesn't matter. For example, let's here close the strong, and here close mark. Okay, and refresh. It's working properly. So here in this lesson we talk about nesting elements, and see you in the next lesson. Hello everybody and welcome to a new lesson. Today we'll talk about headings in HTML. Headings are tells the way how you write something. For example, if you open Word application, let's make a blank document. For example, here find for example heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You'll find a lot of things. Okay, this also is in HTML. I'll show you now. Let's start with opening our Visual Studio Code. Let's make a new file, and let's say for example headings.html. Okay, so I will just post the video and return. Okay, now I have wrote them, and let's just see them, and before we explain, okay, so I'll go live. Okay, so just let me zoom out. Okay, so here I wrote I am heading 1, so this text will be in H1, heading 1, this heading 2, heading 3, I am heading 4, I am heading 5, and I am heading 6. Let me tell you how I did this. First thing, you need to open a bracket and type H. Okay, if you want heading 1, you write number 1 after H. 2, write the number 2. Like this, and moreover, and there are only 6. There are now 7. Okay, let's try 7 and check. If there is no 7, means that there is no more. Let's check. No, there is more, but okay. So you can also search how many, what heading are in HTML. You can search. There are 6 levels, but this is a normal text. I don't know. I can just check 8. If it's the same, means there are only 6 that, as I know. Yeah, it's only 6. It's 6 only. Okay. Also, if you search on Google, here we have 6 levels: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. H1 is being the highest or most important. 11 things are in the least. Okay. Now let's make a text. For example, I want a title to be in heading 1. For example, I want to say for example, I want to head H1. I'll make, for example, a story or paragraph, and let's say that I want to do H1 to be my summer vacation. vacation. Okay, let's say that I want summer vacation, so I will gonna refresh, and here at my now let's say, for example, I want to be heading to, I want to say in heading to, okay, at 12/20/20, for example, I had a very nice summer vacation with my family. Okay, now let's make the last one. I want heading 3, last thing. Okay, so let's say, for example, first we went to the beach. Okay, so now I will make a breakout. No, I mean the P. So I want to make an empty line. Okay, so after H2 I'll make an empty line. Okay, here's the last one. Okay, now I am done. Let's refresh. Okay, so here heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3, and empty line. My summer vacation at 12/20. I had a very nice summer vacation with my family. First we went to the beach. Okay, that's great. That's all for today, and this lesson was headings of HTML, and see you in the next episode. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode in my full stack web development course. Today we'll talk about lists in HTML. It seems that you will be so excited to do this. Okay, so first let's open our Visual Studio Code. Okay, and I will create a file, lists.html. In HTML you can do lists. These lists can be ordered, means ordered in numbers, and unordered means you put points. Okay, so let's start, for example, with making steps to make a cake, for example. Here are some steps. Okay, so I want them to be, for example, in ordered list. Okay, so you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, and more all over. Okay, so I'm gonna close this from here. Just a minute. And just close this. Okay, now I will divide my screen. So here, how to do an ordered list. We'll open like this a bracket and say OL. L means a list, O means ordered. Okay, so first thing I will make here, also I'll open a bracket for each one and type LI, so it's list. Okay, so I'll post this. Okay, so I'll first do the first step, prepare, example, baking pans. So I'll post the video, and when I'm done I will show you. Okay, so now let's check what we did. Okay, so here we make them on ordered list, so they must be ordered by numbers. Okay, let's say that we want to make them by points. So write U means unordered, and then we will write L, unordered list. Here also the same thing. Gonna refresh, and we got them in points. Example, let's change what we wrote. So here, for example, let's say okay, for example, we made it get ready 3, 2, 1 go. For example, there will be in points. Here in get ready 3, 2, 1 go. Let's, for example, make it ordered using numbers. So we change it to O, refresh, and we got it in numbers. So that was the lesson of today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video in my course. Today we'll talk about nested lists that are nested inside of each other. Okay, so let's start and open a Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's complete on our lists. Okay, so let's say that we, for example, want to say examples of mammals. So what you're gonna do, we want mammals to be point, so it will be unordered, and the mammals will be or let's say that we want to make the mammals, it will be number 1. Okay, and then we want, for example, amphibians. So how we'll do this? Okay, first thing, we need to start with an ordered list, because ordered list, OL. Okay, so here I need to make, for example, let's start with we'll write an list. Just a minute, was it list or li? Okay, so I just can Control Y. Okay, so here I can just edit this. Okay, so first thing I will make an OL, and when I do the OL, I'll make an list, and right here I want first mammals, slash li mammal. I'll just check mammals. Okay, so here the examples of mammals. So I need to open something new. It would be the unordered list. So unordered list. So here what you're gonna do, click enter again, and what you're gonna do is, for example, give example of mammals. So you can search on internet and search for mammals. You can example search for some. Okay, example, you can go to images, and for example here we have mammal, animal. Okay, so here for example you have the dog, the zebra, and the tiger. Or let's make tiger. So I'll make a list and write tiger. Okay, the same thing, I'll re-enter and make a list, and let's say for example rabbit. Okay, now I want amphibians. Okay, so I'll not close the UL, so I'll return here and go here as when the mammal started. Okay, so here I'll make li. No, what we're gonna do is here we're gonna end this ordered list. So here we'll slash ol. Okay, so when we write the amphibians, it will not be the unordered list. Sorry, unordered list. Okay, no, we closed it. Okay, so now here I'll go and return and write here amphibians. So here I will make a list. It will be with the ordered list. So here I will put amphibians, or let's, okay, amphibians, amphibian. So I can copy it and write it here, amphibians. Okay, and we'll click enter, and here we're gonna start a new list, a new unordered list. Okay, so here inside of them I'll make a list. For example, I will start with the frog. Okay, now click enter, and I'll put another example. Let's say here we need, for example, toad. Okay, now we'll close this UL, and here we'll close our OL. Okay, so /OL and brackets. Okay, now let's test what we did. Yeah, as we did it, we opened an ordered list for mammals and amphibians. Okay, and then we opened a new list for tiger and rabbit, and then we closed them, and so only will be the ordered list. So amphibians will be numbered, and then we'll open a new unordered list. So frog and toad will be with dots, and then we'll close the UL, the fruit of frog and toad, and then close the full OL for mammals and amphibians. And that was all of today. Also, maybe you want the mammals to be the numbered, and the tiger will be, the mammals will be with unordered, okay, and the tiger, it will be ordered. Okay, so just you can switch them as I did. And that's all for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode in my course. Today we'll talk about web addresses in HTML. Okay, web addresses in HTML. Okay, let's give you an example. Let's say that you are browsing Facebook. Okay, so you know that the URL, how you open the Facebook. When you write, I want to open Facebook. What you're gonna write? You're gonna write facebook.com. Okay, if you give this thing for the HTML and want it to act with it. Okay, so let's try and see if there's any error. Okay, so here web.html, for example. Okay, so here let me, for example, how we can test it. We can make a ref, so I can link to it. For example, I want an image from Facebook, so for example, this is an image in Facebook. Okay, I can copy this link and I want it to view in my page, so I'll make like this and enter. Here I'll put the link, and then I'll close by brackets. Okay, I can go live and see what happens. It doesn't show anything. Why it doesn't show anything? I will tell you now. Because the link, just a minute, no, here, no need for this, just a minute. Yeah, I can just go live again, or I can open it from my local, or just let's get another website maybe. Okay, so let's say this image from Google. Okay, so I will put it here. Okay, so let's say here I want this to open Google. Okay, so I will just here write an sample. Okay, so here I will add it and say, for example, google.com. As you open it, yeah, open it like this. You write google.com. Here say visit Google. Okay, now I can just go live, start my server. Okay, here visit Google. It will give an error. Sorry, no, I mean if you want to put an image from Google. Okay, so let's say that here, yeah, this is the logo of Google. So I'll copy this in this way. So here I can put it. Okay, I will can refresh. Where's my? Okay, here it will give an error. Okay, why? Why? Because HTML needs an full. It must have HTTP and // and www dot. It must be like this. At least you have HTTPS and you have this semicolon and // and www dot and the name and then .com. Like this, he will understand you. Well, let's refresh. Now it worked, because HTML needs an, for example, see here, they must put, for example, if we want to put an image, let's say that we want to put an image, put an image in HTML, for example, let's say. So we do this, we use image source. Okay, so let's, for example, say here I will copy this command and paste it here. Okay, so this is, and here let's say that I'm gonna refresh my page. Nothing, it's no image. Why? Because the image like this, hey, you just give him the name of the image, so it must be in the same place or in the same folder. Okay, so let's, for example, download an image, for example, turtle image. Okay, this turtle, we can just go images and, for example, download this one. Okay, so I will put it in the same place. Okay, so here I can do turtle, and then I can here edit the name. Okay, so here it's need pick, so I can rename it pick_rally. Okay, here it's GIF, not JPG, JFIF. Okay, so now it will search in the same place that it's the folder, the file is in it. Okay, and say, let's here a narrative, because if my mouse came on it, it will show turtle. So I write turtle. Okay, so I can refresh, and here if I put my mouse here, so I don't know, but here it must show turtle. Okay, let's say that I have from another server, let's say this Google icon, or and example flag. Let's search for a flag picture. Okay, so let's, for example, take this one. Okay, so I'll open the image in new tab. Okay, this is on another server. Okay, so let's me replace it with this, and I want wikipedia.com, just like this, wikipedia.Wikipedia. Let me check, and where is the server? I can reload, I cannot find anything. Okay, so I must put https and semicolon / www, like this. It will be like this, working. Yeah, now we got it. Great job. Okay, so that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode. This is the last episode in the introduction of HTML, and there will no be HTML itself, and also the CSS, same thing. Just I said this by mistake, but please forgive me. Just the Python will be introduction, and there will be more Python. Okay, so we'll talk about today head and body. For example, let's say you're browsing Emirates. For example, you want to book a flying ticket. Okay, so how did they told the HTML that they want, for example, to view this in the middle, and to view, for example, the title in the up? How did they do that? They used head and the body. How did they do this? Okay, so here they started the head. Okay, so here I want head. Example, here where did they make the title? So you can here just search for title. Okay, so here the title. This is the same title. If you came here, you can see the full title. Okay, title comes in the in the first, in the head. Okay, body means that views in the middle. These buttons, these hyperlinks, for example, these resources, these, and text. Most of the things that you use are the pictures. They put a picture. All of these are in the body. For example, you can find the text written. You can find, for example, the pictures written. You can find the scripts written. Everything about everything. For example, you can search here, and body is about how much of an HTML website. I can just reset. I don't know, but it mostly the HTML is body. Means most things are in the body, like for example the pictures, everything. So that's all for today, and we finished the introduction of HTML, and see you in the introduction of CSS.